Hi everyone, this is Nilanjan Datta, a CAT as well as a DILR section 100 percentiler, and today I wanted to introduce you to this upcoming initiative that is spanning over the next several days, that is the linear arrangement course. So within the logical reasoning module, linear arrangement is a very important chapter, and a lot of you tend to have a lot of difficulties in this topic, which is why as part of this continuous set of videos, what I'll try to do is try and ensure that all kinds of questions, as right from basics to advanced of linear arrangement, including some concepts, are discussed across this course. So this will be a continuous stream of videos, starting with this one being the first video where we're looking at some of the basic rules and terminologies pertaining to linear arrangement. So let's get started with today's session. It is brought to you by me, Nilanjan Datta, a CAT and DILR 100 percentiler. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe, and also comment in the comment section on any upcoming queries that you have that you want me to cover in the upcoming sessions. So let us first look at what are the various types of linear arrangement. The very basic type of linear arrangement is the one where you arrange objects or you arrange people in a sequence from left to right. So this is an example where, as you can see, there are 8 people from A to H who are arranged in a linear sequence from left to right. Now, how do you interpret such a sequence? For example, if you see person A has got just one neighbor in person B. Similarly, person H, who's also seated at the rightmost end, has only one neighbor in G. However, everybody else has got 2 neighbors. For example, person D has C to the left and person D has E to the right. How do you understand left and right? The left and right part can be easily understood by simply looking at this is the right direction and this is the left direction. So this would give you a good understanding of who's to the left and who is to the right. Now, in case they ask you who is seated 2 places to the right of F, how do we do this? So 2 places to the right would mean 1 place to the right. Right would mean this direction. Why? So this is called right. So from F, 1 place to the right is G, 2 places to the right is person H. So in case they ask you 2 places to the right, you mark the answer as person H. Similarly, in case they ask you how many people are seated in between people D and G. How many people seated in between D and G? So D is here, G is here. In between, you have 2 people, that is E and F. So whenever they ask you people in between, what you do is you exclude D and G and you simply look at बीच में कौन-कौन D and G को छोड़ के बीच में कौन-कौन है E and F. So that is why people in between D and G is 2 people, that is E and F. In case they ask you to right or left, what you do is you start counting from the next person onwards. For example, 2 people to the right of F would mean you start counting from G, you mark G as 1, you mark H as 2, and you proceed. Similarly, in case they ask who are the neighbors of A. Neighbors of A, how do we get neighbors of A? So A is here. A has got only one neighbor and that is B. So that is how you interpret this kind of a linear arrangement. So always remember, in linear arrangement left to right, as it is seen here, this is left, this is right, which means anybody on this side would be left, anybody on this side would be right. So for example, if they ask you, where is G with respect to C? What will be the answer? G is here, so G is to the right of C. How many places to the right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So G is 4 places to the right. So that is how you get the position of person G with respect to C. Is that clear, everybody? How we get person G's position with respect to C. With this in mind, let us move on to some of the key terminologies that are very important as far as CAT is concerned. And these are very important from the exam point of view. So let's look at some of the arrangement terminologies. So often you get a clue like this, A is to the left of B. Whenever we get a clue like this which says A is to the left of B, we tend to make a very common mistake. What is that? So let's say B is seated here. So whenever we get this clue, A is to the left of B, we usually what we do is we put A in this position. But this is actually an incorrect assumption. Why? Because A is to left of B need not mean A is immediate left of B. And this is where a lot of CAT aspirants keep on making a mistake year after year. They confuse left with what is called immediate left. So here if you see A is to the left of B need not necessarily mean A is here. What could also happen is A could also be here. Because why? Because even this position is to the left. So as you can see, this side is left side. So anywhere to the left of B would be allowed. So while this is also correct, this is also correct, this is also correct, this is also correct. So basically, all 4 cases are possible. Never assume that just because it's mentioned A is to the left of B, never assume that A will be to the immediate left. Remember, it is possible that A is to the immediate left, but it's also possible the other scenarios. For example, here where A is 3 places to the left. So whenever they say A is to the left, all it means is A is in this direction with respect to B. Is that clear, everybody? Next, we move on to the terminology which says immediate left. Immediate left means not just left plus adjacent. So whenever they say A is to the immediate left, दोनों चीजें होना चाहिए. एक left and the second one is adjacent भी होना चाहिए. So it should be a combination of left plus adjacent. So here as you can see, A is to the left as well as A is adjacent to B. So both the conditions are effectively holding. Hence, what you can do is you can go ahead with A is immediate left of B would be only this portion. So note when this clue says A is immediate left, then you will get a unique position that is A has to be here. But had it been said only left, then A could be either here or here or here or here. So all of the possibilities are there. So let's look at the next arrangement terminology that is common in sets. Similarly, you can have clues like B is to the right of A. Right would mean not necessarily immediate right. So immediate right would mean right plus adjacent. So in that case, A and B must be together. But had it been said B is to the right of A, then A could be here or A could be here or A can be here or A can be here. As long as B is to the right, it is adequately sufficient. What is not required is immediate right. So never get confused. हमेशा हम क्या करते हैं linear arrangement में हम confuse हो जाते हैं between immediate right and right or immediate left and left. Never get that confused. Make sure that you understand the difference between the two. Immediate right means right plus adjacent, whereas only right would mean anywhere to the right. So since this is the right side, so anywhere to the right would mean anywhere in this direction. It doesn't matter how many people are in between A and B. The next terminology that we'll come across is n places to the left or right. For example, let's say it says B is 2 places to the right of A. So where must B be? Obviously, right means this direction. Now what it says is B is 2 places to the right. So 2 places to the right would mean this is 1 place to the right. This is your second place to the right. So this being your second place to the right, that automatically means B will be taking up this position, that is 2 places to the right. So always start counting from the immediate right onwards and see where is B. So B is 2 places to the right would mean you start counting from here, that is the first position to the right. Second position to the right is here, so B will be seated. So that is how you get 2 places to the right. Similarly, 2 places to the left would have meant you start counting in this direction. So always remember, whenever it says n places to the right or left, look at the direction that is right or left and then start counting from the adjacent one. So in this case, start counting from here and see which is that nth position. So second position here is B here, which means we assign B to this position. So normally in DILR, in arrangement sets, what you'll have is a lot of clues like these, which you need to use to your advantage to be able to solve the entire structure. So make sure that you're able to solve and you're able to get the complete structure in place. Is that clear, everybody? Now, let's say if nothing is known about the position of A and B, then what do I do? So here, if the position of at least A is known, I can put the position of B here. But what if the position of both A and B are unknown and you have this clue that is B is 2 places to the right of A? So in that case, what do? So in that case, what you need to do is A will be here, B will be to the right. So basically 1 place to the right and then second place to the right will be B, which means you must have a sequence of A dash B. So what you need to do is look for a sequence which has A followed by a dash, that is a blank, followed by B. So always look for one such sequence. So what are the possibilities? One possibility is this. The other possibility is this. The third possibility is this. But if you notice, in each case, you have an A dash B sequence. So that is important because B is 2 places to the right. So 1 place in between and the second place to the right will be person B. So in such a case, each of these 3 scenarios are possible. So do not assume that B is 2 places to the right would mean only the first scenario. No, it could be anywhere depending on the position of A. The position of B would vary, but in all cases, it will be 2 places to the right. So you have to be able to list all possible scenarios. क्योंकि हमेशा क्या होता है, DILR में they have this cannot be determined option. Short form में CBD, cannot be determined, which means there are multiple scenarios or multiple possibilities that are there. So make sure that you're not missing out on any of them. The next one is saying 2 people are seated in between A and B. So what does this mean? That wherever A is seated, there must be 2 gaps in between. 2 people in between means effectively 2 gaps in between. But here, one of the problems in this clue is that it does not mention left or right. So what do? Do I go with left or do we go with right? Now, if you look at the left thing, you'll find that there is only one blank space to the left, which automatically means in this scenario, left is not possible. So the only possibility is two people are sitting in between A and B, and B must be to the right. So what do? Two people in between, one in between, two in between. So B must be in this position, such that you have two people in between A and B. Interestingly, if you notice, there's a difference between this clue and the previous clue. The previous clue was B is two places to the right, in which case it meant A dash B. But here we are talking about two people sitting in between, which means there's going to be a double dash between A and B. So this effectively means B is three places to the right of A. So always remember, number of people in between is not the same as n places to the right or left. N places to the right would include B's position as well, whereas here two people in between means excluding A and B, बीच में दो लोग हैं. So remember, this is a difference that is there between this and the previous scenario. So understanding these clues are very important. The next clue that is important is the one which says the number of people to the left of C is equal to the number of people to the right of C. मतलब मुझे स्ट्रक्चर में C को ऐसा पोजीशन में बैठाना है ताकि number of people to the left is equal to the number of people to the right. Whenever you get such a clue, हमेशा याद रखना, अगर मुझे left equal to right करना है, the only possibility is if I put C in the middle. And this is only possible if the total number of people is an odd number. A total number of people is an even number, then you can never get number to the left is equal to number of people to the right. Only if the total number of people is odd, like in this case, there are 5 people. So in that case, what you can do is number of people to the left is equal to people to the right. So where you put C? You put C right in the middle, such that to the left you have 2 people, to the right you have 2 people. So automatically the number of people to the left becomes equal to the number of people to the right. Remember, had there been even number of people, so let's say there were 6 people. So in that case, putting C in the middle would not be enough because you would have had 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Had you put C here, you would have had 2 to the right and again 3 to the left. So this will work only if the total number of people is odd. So only in those sets, so total number of people is odd, you can expect this kind of a note. Understanding these clues are very important so that in the exam, you don't need to take too much of time to figure out the structure. The moment you look at it, you can visualize how the arrangement structure would be like. So I hope all the arrangement based rules and terminologies are clear. In fact, in maximum LR sets and arrangement, you'll find some of these clues are there. The next clue that we look at is as follows. The number of people to the left of E is equal to the number of people to the right of F. Now, what does this mean? This means E and F must be equally spaced out. That is, they must be symmetric about the center as well as symmetric about the edge. That is the only way E and F can have equal number of people to left and right. That is, left of E, the number of people is equal to the number of people to the right of F. तो ये सिनारियो देखते हैं जहां पे 5 लोग हैं. अगर 5 लोग हैं, in which all positions if I put E and F will it satisfy this clue? That is, number of you to the left of E is equal to the people to the right of F. Anybody? How many positions will satisfy? The answer that most of you tend to give is 2. But the answer is not 2. The answer is not just these 2 positions. The answer will in fact be these 4 positions. Why? If you look at the first one, where is E? Extreme leftmost. So what is the count of people to the left of E? 0. What is the count of people to the right of F? 0. Which means equal. Second case. Here, E has 1 person to the left, F has 1 person to the right. Again, equal. Third case, it might seem a little odd that E is to the extreme right given that the question is saying left of E and right of F. But if you do a count, you'll find that there are 4 people to the left of E. Similarly, if you do a count, you'll find there are 4 people to the right of E. Which means the total is again the counts are equal. Similarly, if you look at the last one, here again E has 3 to the left, F ends up having 3 people to the right. So again, what is happening is the count is equal. So effectively, all 4 of these cases are valid. Do not assume that just because it says left of E and right of F, do not assume that E will be to the left of F. While these 2 scenarios are valid, remember the other 2 scenarios that are this and this are also valid even though E is to the right of F. As long as the condition is holding that the counts are equal, whether it is 0 or 1 or 3 or 4, as long as the counts are equal, all of the scenarios will be valid. So as you can see, in each of the cases, E and F are symmetric about the ends as well as symmetric about the center. So as long as they are symmetric about the end and symmetric about the center, remember this condition will. So whenever you get such a clue, just start framing all the scenarios from the end. That is, if E is here, F will be here. If E moves here, F will be here. Note, the only thing that where E cannot be is in the middle. Because if E is in the middle, then you'll have 2 people to the left of E. However, for F to have 2 people to the right, F would also have to be here, which is not possible. So only these 4 scenarios are possible in this case. So I hope all of you through this video have had a good understanding of the linear arrangement terminologies that are important when you're doing any kind of clue which is on left, right, sequence, and so on. So in some of the subsequent videos, we'll be actually discussing some of the sets where we'll be actually seeing how you can utilize these clues and how to use them in a structured manner to be able to solve linear arrangement sets. But make sure you have a good understanding of these. In case you have any queries, make sure that you're reaching out via either the Telegram channel or via the comment section. Make sure that you're reaching out in case you have any queries on the understanding part as far as these arrangement terminologies and rules are concerned. These are some of the basic fundamentals on which the entire concept of linear arrangement is based upon. So in the next video, as part of the linear arrangement series, what we'll be doing is we'll be looking at the next video would be as follows. It would be on the varieties of kind of sets that you can expect as far as linear arrangement is concerned. Also, what we'll be doing is we're looking at some actual sets starting from basics on solving linear arrangement, so you have a good understanding of how to use the clues that we studied in today's session. So do make sure that you are understanding the clues. In case you have any challenge in understanding, don't hesitate to ask those queries via the Telegram channel that is Percentiler Live. Also, since as you can see, there will be a new video coming up almost daily on various topics. So do keep suggesting us in the comment section which are the upcoming topics post the linear arrangement module, which are the upcoming topics within DILR, within Quants, within VRC that you want to come up with a following follow-up. So linear arrangement will span across a number of videos across this course. So do make sure that all of you are being a part of it. Like, share, and do not forget to comment, and do join us on the Telegram channel. For those of you looking at a full syllabus DILR compilation, the below links are going to give you what is called the full syllabus DILR compilation of whatever you need. To access them, you can use the access code PERCENTILERLIVE. As you know, I'm a CAT and DILR 100 percentile. So on that note, thank you everybody. Happy learning, and we'll again connect with the next video as part of this linear arrangement module or series. Till then, happy connecting on the Telegram channel group that is Percentiler